Folks, we are in a lot of trouble, and Donald Trump just made the situation a lot worse. If you remember, all along the campaign trail, Donald Trump was jumping up and down about how he was going to keep American jobs here, and anybody that left was going to have to pay a heavy price, and he was going to throw all of these companies that left America and put American workers out of jobs and went to foreign countries and then tried to ship their products back. Well, this carrier situation has or should have a lot of people spooked. Now you're thinking that, oh no, Donald Trump basically saved 1,000 jobs. Okay, well, a couple of things on that one. Number one, what happened to the other 1,400 people that lost their jobs? Number two, and more importantly, Donald Trump, according to Bernie Sanders, just showed corporations that he was a pussy. Bernie Sanders just wrote an article titled "Carrier Just Showed Corporations How to Beat Donald Trump," and I'm going to read the article to you. Today, about 1,000 carrier workers and their families should be rejoicing, but the rest of our nation's workers should be very nervous. President-elect Donald Trump will reportedly announce a deal with United Technologies, the corporation that owns Carrier, that keeps less than 1,000 of the 2,100 jobs in America that were previously scheduled to be transferred to Mexico. Let's be clear, it is not good enough to save some of these jobs. Trump made a promise that he would save all of these jobs, and we cannot rest until an ironclad contract is signed to ensure that all of these workers are able to continue working in Indiana without having their pay or benefits slashed. Now, Donald Trump didn't even do this deal. This deal was done by Governor Mike Pence. How did he do this deal? Carrier basically had threatened back in February to leave. And from that point forward, Pence was in negotiations with them to try to keep them from leaving. He ended up giving them, I believe the number is about $700,000 in tax incentives and credits. And that $700,000 was not enough to keep all 2,100 jobs in America. Now, their parent company, which is United Technologies, does a tremendous amount of business with the U.S. government. I believe that they have about $5 to $6 billion in contracts with the U.S. government. That's the stick that should have been held over their head to keep those 2,100 jobs here, not to give up $700,000 in tax credits. Could have been very simple for Trump just to tell United Technologies, you know, you got all these contracts here, guess what? You move those jobs and those contracts are going to other people. At that point, United Technologies would have had a decision to make. And I think they would have probably made the right decision by keeping all of those jobs in America. I believe last year that United Technologies made approximately $5.6 billion in profits. Their management team walked away with somewhere around $50 to $60 million in bonuses. But I digress. Let me read the rest of the article. In exchange for allowing United Technologies to continue to offshore more than 1,000 jobs, Trump will reportedly give the company tax and regulatory favors that the corporation has sought. Just a few short months ago, Trump was pledging to force United Technologies to pay a damn tax. He was insisting on very steep tariffs for companies like Carrier that left the United States and wanted to sell their foreign-made products back in the United States. Instead of a damn tax, the company will be rewarded with a damn tax cut. Wow. How's that for standing up to corporate greed? How's that for punishing corporations that shut down in the United States and move abroad? In essence, United Technology took Trump hostage and won, and that should send a shockwave of fear throughout all workers across the country. Trump has endangered the jobs of workers who were previously safe in the United States. Why? Because he has signaled to every corporation in America that they can threaten to offshore jobs in exchange for business-friendly tax benefits and incentives. Even corporations that weren't thinking of offshoring jobs will most likely be reevaluating their stance this morning. And who would pay for those high cost of tax cuts that go to the richest businessmen in America? The working class of America. Let's be clear. United Technologies is not going broke. Last year, they made a profit of $7.6 billion and received more than $6 billion in defense contracts. It has also received more than $50 million from the Export-Import Bank and very generous tax breaks. In 2014, United Technologies gave a former chief executive, Louis Chevronnet, a golden parachute worth more than $172 million. Last year, the company's 5 highest paid executives made more than $50 million. The company also spent $12 billion to inflate its stock price instead of using that money to invest in new plants and workers. Does that sound like a company that deserves more corporate welfare from our government? Trump's Band-Aid solution is only making the problem of wealth inequality in America even worse. Sanders said that he would work with Trump if he was serious about the promise he made to members of the working class. But after running a campaign pledging to be tough on corporate America, Trump has hypocritically decided to do the exact opposite. He wants to treat corporate irresponsibility with kid gloves. The problem with our rigged economy is not that our policies have been too tough on corporations, it's that we haven't been tough enough. We need to reinstill an ethic of corporate patriotism. We need to send a very loud and clear message to corporate America. The era of outsourcing is over. Instead of offshoring jobs, the time has come for you to start bringing good-paying jobs back to America. If United Technologies or any other company wants to keep outsourcing decent-paying American jobs, those companies must pay an outsourcing tax equal to the amount of money it expects to save by moving factories to Mexico or other low-wage countries. They should not receive federal contracts or any other form of corporate welfare. They must pay back all of the tax breaks and other corporate welfare they have received from the federal government. They must not be allowed to reward their executives with stock options, bonuses, or golden parachutes for outsourcing jobs to low-wage countries. I will soon be introducing the Outsourcing Prevention Act, which will address exactly that. If Donald Trump won't stand up for America's working class, we must. That's exactly why we should have kicked Hillary Clinton's ass to the curb and put in Bernie Sanders. Because one thing about Bernie, he's always been on the side of the worker. Now, obviously, everybody has their own faults, but if you're grading Bernie Sanders out against Hillary Clinton, it's really no contest. And Donald Trump basically has sold a bill of goods to all of his supporters and all the people of America that voted for him. And now the bill is coming due. The bill always comes due. And now you can see with your own eyes Mr. Tough Guy Donald Trump and how he handles situations that deserve strength rather than weakness and giving in. Folks, this is going to be a rough 4 years.